everyone and welcome back to a brand new video on Halfway Football. Today we have with us former Kerala Blasters Reserve Team Technical Director and current All India Football Federation's Grassroots Football Technical Panel member Mr. Mario Marinică with us. Welcome sir to the community.
Hello everyone, good to take part into this online interview.
So sir, let's start the session. My first question to you is, tell us about your career as a football player and how was your career and how did you start and all.
Initially I have started as a youngster playing for Dinamo Bucharest. Then I moved also to Steaua Bucharest. I had some quite bad injuries. I couldn't carry on with my professional career, so I moved to England and I played semi-professionally for Barking FC and Haringey Borough.
Okay, coach. Now moving on to our second question of the day. You have worked as a coach. You have worked as a manager. Then you have worked as a scout, also a technical director. Now, which job is more difficult, and why is it more difficult? Which do you think is the more difficult in comparison to the others?
Yes, very interesting question. Well, actually, all of them, they have a certain amount of difficulties. As a coach, it's important you to improve player performances. So therefore, you should be able to understand every single player you have. You have to understand the squad and to actually be able to help them. As a manager, is more important to understand the dynamics of the club and to understand the dynamic of the team, because you are selecting the team, and it's important you to understand how to get the best of the players and also how to make sure that everything fits within the club perspective and the club future. Then as a scout is also challenging, because you need to be able that you understand really well what actually you need to look for. What, for example, if you are opposition scout, you have to understand what from the opposition may affect your team. If you are player scout, you should be able to understand, first of all, your own team players, and then you need to go and try to get the most of the potential players you look in order to fit within your team's criteria. And as a technical director, it's different challenge, total different challenge, because you're looking long-term view, and that's applying like all the other three befores. So, but also this one is coming with something a bit better, which actually is called job security. As a technical director, you have much better job security rather than a coach or a manager.
Yeah, coach. Now the third question I want to ask you is that, what made you choose football as a career other than football? Which sport do you like the most other than football?
What actually made me to choose football as a career? Interesting question. First of all, just the hobby. I had a hobby and a dream to become a footballer. I couldn't do that, and I ended up looking to get into coaching initially, just to work a little bit in a grassroots. But slowly I developed, and I end up having the both worlds, doing something that I enjoy, and at the same time having a professional career out of that. Yes, I like quite a lot of sports, but funny enough, I like quite a lot cricket. I'm quite big fan of cricket, even though I'm from Romania, and in Romania no one plays cricket.
Moving on to our fourth question for you, coach. How was your experience with Kerala Blasters at your time in India?
With Kerala Blasters, I had a fantastic experience. Absolutely fabulous. Anytime I'll return to India. Uh, you know, in Kerala, people were absolutely fantastic, and also in India overall, it was a joy to go around and mingle with locals, and also, to see how many are football fanatics was absolutely fabulous.
Question that I wanted to ask you, sir, is that do you follow Indian football now, and what is your opinion about the current Indian football team? What's your how's your idea about the current Indian football team and the national team in general?
Of course, I do follow Indian football. I'm still working for the Indian FA, IFF, as a grassroots technical panel member. So it's part and parcel of the job, but also at the same time is something I grew into. I had a fantastic experience, as I said before, so I keep following Indian football. Well, I think it's a little bit early into football development. Nice still needs a long way to go. Football needs to develop worldwide, countrywide, and needs also to get a little bit more develop a grassroots in order to have a solid foundation and to produce players. But if you look at Blasters, for example, we had two fantastic players in Sahal and Jackson Singh. So there is a huge future.
So, coach, now next question. I think the Kerala Blasters fans would be eager to know your opinion about this. So, what do you think of the current Kerala Blasters squad? And do you think they could reach the playoffs this season and win the trophy?
Current Blaster squad, I cannot give a very well informed opinion because they had some new players, particularly the foreign players, which actually I don't know that much about them. I haven't been part of the recruitment, so I don't know exactly how these players would perform and what is their potential. However, I believe that the Indian players are really good players. They have been playing together for, I think, some of them even 3-4 years now. Therefore, like Jackson Singh, like Carneiro, Samad, they've been playing together. So definitely, they should be able to have a head start compared to other competitors. In terms of winning the trophies, nobody knows. And also, in terms of playoffs, is the same thing. It's hard because every single team, they have their own chances. So we'll have to see.
So we always term Indian football as the sleeping giant. So now you are a person who have worked with the grassroots in the grassroots level of Indian football, and especially in Kerala. So do you think India has the potential to be termed as the sleeping giants? Do you think that the term we use is correct?
Definitely, India has the potential to be named the sleeping giant because, look, the population is huge. Even if you're to look like a billion people as a population, if you put that 10%, 15% would be football, let's say, enthusiasts, not even fanatics, just enthusiasts, that will be about 200 millions, which actually is much more than whole Europe put together in terms of football participants. So therefore, the potential is absolutely massive.
Coach, my next question is that what are the differences between the football culture of India and Romania?
The huge difference between the Indian and Romanian football culture is in Romania, more or less like in India with cricket. Every kind of household, they love football in Romania, and since they're 4 or 5, maybe even earlier, the boys and sometimes even the girls, they play football. So therefore, football is a way of life, if you want to put it this way. In India, there are massive followers, particularly in Kerala. It's absolutely fantastic when the World Cup is. You should see actually some of the clips made by BBC in terms of representing football in Kerala, and but it's great, but in only like pockets. It's not nationwide. So this is the main difference. And obviously, that could be reflected later in the players' quality, because in Romania, for example, they have a head start since they're 3, 4, 5. They play football. In India, there are not that many, and sometimes they even start at 10 and 12, which actually that's I come across. So obviously there are 4 or 5 years into learning development difference.
Okay, coach. Coach, next question. How do you rate the development of Indian football? Like, in which all aspects do you think India should concentrate more in the coming years for a brighter future in football?
As I said before, football development in India is still early doors, I could say. It's still young, still needs a lot of work. And first of all, needs to be worked a lot in grassroots, because that will be the foundation for advanced football and professional football. Also needs to be worked into national curriculums that should be able to apply nationwide. Obviously, would need a lot of help from all the professional clubs to implement such programs.
So, coach, from your experience here in India, which clubs do you think are good at youth development and why, if you could name a few?
From my experience, I could say that Blasters, we had a fantastic program. We opened 15 new centers. I hope they will carry on with that. That was first time happening in Kerala. Then in Goa, I noticed that they have a pretty good setup. However, I believe that more the private sector, it seems to be better connected to the new realities rather than clubs themselves. For example, Reliance, they have a huge nationwide program and they do fantastically well.
Next question for you, coach, is actually a very cliche question, but still it's a very good question to ask. We would love to know it. Like, which is your favorite club and player in the world, if you could tell us?
This is a very tough question to ask a football coach what is favorite club and football player, because look, you have to be realistic. You have to be down to earth. You have to look professionally. So emotion, it shouldn't be that much into you as a football coach. So I cannot say that I have a particular club or a particular player. I like a variety of clubs according to the way they play, and sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't do very well, so therefore I probably change my opinion from time to time according to the club's performances. The same thing with the players. So it's not really easy to give a straight answer on that. When I was young, I used to like Arsenal, and I used to, like players that are technically astute and really good athletes. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo would be in this kind of category.
So, coach, one more question is that after leaving Kerala Blasters, you have not been part of any club. Any specific reason for that? And are you planning to join any club soon?
With this pandemics, it was very tough. I supposed to start working with about 3 clubs, one in Sierra Leone, another one with in South Africa, also in Qatar, but it didn't happen due to pandemics. So I'm not sure what will happen next. I hope maybe to return to India. I would like that. I still keep connecting through this grassroots panel with India, and I'm not sure. We have to see. Football, it goes, and sport in general now goes through a very tough time with the pandemics. For example, now in Romania, is absolutely terrible. Is the COVID is worse than ever. So yeah, we live some challenging times. We don't know exactly what will happen next.
So, coach, were there any offers from any Indian clubs after you left India? If you could reveal us, if there were any clubs, if you could reveal us the names of those clubs, it would be nice.
I have been speaking to some clubs, but things hasn't gone through. I cannot reveal the clubs.
Coach, finally, what's your message to fans in India?
Well, a message to the fans, the football fans in India, what I could say is keep supporting your local teams. You are doing a fantastic job. It's fantastic to see you on terraces, and now it's fabulous that somehow will open. So therefore, you need to wear mask, do all the safety procedure, and if you can get yourself vaccinated, this way you'll be able to enjoy with everyone else the football spectacle, and it's great to see you back on stadiums. So we're gonna say also try to enjoy football, and don't have that many expectations, because expectation sometimes goes to disappointment, it results in disappointment if they don't meet. So just enjoy football like you do. You are fantastic.
Thank you, coach. So thank you, coach, for joining us and answering every questions clearly to our community. It was really a great opportunity to have you here. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you could share your thoughts on the interaction, it would be awesome.
Thank you very much for inviting me to take part into this forum. I hope the questions, the answer I give you to the questions, it was satisfactory to your very heavy demand. Yes, it was a pleasure to be on board with you and to take part into this, let's say, forum. And I hope we'll hear again sometime soon.
All the best, coach, and hope you join our club soon. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to our channel. Also, comment below what next do you want to see in the channel, and if you think that this video needs to be shared with your friends, do it right now and let us reach more and more subscribers. So that's it for today. Until next time, bye.